team is trying to build a stronger defense, develop more aggressive offense, and enter 2026 season with a roster capable of competing for the NFL East and making a serious playoff run. There are also important trade rumors and questions about whether Dallas could still make another move before the regular season it begins. So in today's video, we are going to cover the latest Cowboys training camp developments, the player turning heads, the defensive transformation under Christian Parker, Dak Prescott, and the offense, Caleb Downs, Lashan Gally, Jashawn Balmer, roster battle, injury updates, potential future moves, and what all they could mean for 2026 season. So, the Dallas Cowboys enter the training camp with many expectations that are much higher than simply developing young players. So the Dallas wants result after disappointing previous season. The organization knows that another season without meaningful postseason success would create even more pressure around the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, who is Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Brian Schottenheimer, and entire football operation. The 2026 Cowboys are therefore entering a camp with a very different feeling. There is a new defensive direction under defensive coordinator Christian Parker, several important additions to the roster, a young player expected to continue immediately, and veteran players who are being asked to rise their level to rise their levels. The Cowboys' official training camp preview emphasized the position battles, potential breakout players, and the areas where the roster still needs to improve. And now, the priorities are on the competition is being much more physically. One of the biggest reasons Cowboys fans are excited about 2026 is the defensive overhaul. Christian Parker is now leading the defense, and early signs from the training camp suggest that the Cowboys want to play with the more speed, communication, and physicality. So the Cowboys' own coverage has highlighted a Parker defensive coaching structure and the changes taking place within the defensive staff. This is extremely important. Dallas cannot depend only on Dak Prescott and the offense to win the game if the Cowboys want to become a legitimate playoff team. The defense has to create stops, pressure quarterbacks, force turnover, and give the offense a better field position. And this is exactly what a Packers defense is trying to establish. The first padded practices have already provided some exciting signs. So for the Caleb Downs is already making a noise in the training camp of the Dallas Cowboys because he is one of the biggest names coming out of the Cowboys training camp is a rookie safety Caleb Downs. Dallas selected Caleb Downs with the number 11 overall picks in 2026 NFL draft. And the organization clearly expects him to become an important part of the defense. So the Cowboys officially draft coverage described Downs as the versatile defensive backs who can play multiple roles in the secondary. That versatility could be extremely valuable. The modern NFL is built around the quarterback attacking defensive weaknesses. If you have safety who can move around and cover the receivers, play near the line of scrimmage, and communicate with other defensive backs, And early in the training camp, Downs have already been receiving significant attention during the first part of the practice. Downs was among the defensive players who stood out. This is exactly what the Cowboys fans wanted to see in the Caleb Downs. But if he can become reliable or starter who bring intelligence, speed, versatility to the secondary, his impact could be enormous. Another defensive player attracting attention is a cornerback Shavon Level. The Cowboys official report from the first part of the practice described Level as one of the players who stood out, while another report highlighted now. Aggressively, he has been tested against NFL competition. This is an important storyline because a Dallas Cowboy need a young defensive back to develop quickly. If Lever can establish himself as the dependable contributor, the Cowboys could have a much deeper secondary than had previously. So now let's talk about one of the biggest moves Dallas made this offseason. Rashan Gary is now a Cowboys. Dallas acquired a Gary from a Green Bay in exchange for 2027 fourth-round picks. That trade immediately gave the Cowboys another experienced pass-rushing presence. Gary has already been one of the major storylines at a training camp, and the Cowboys official coverage has highlighted the intensity he has brought to Oxnard. For the Dallas, this move is about more than simply adding another name. The Cowboys need a pressure, and they need defensive linemen who can win one-on-one matchups. Now we get to one of the biggest questions from the Cowboys fans. So, our Cowboys fans, are they finished making move? The answer is not necessarily, because the Dallas Cowboys are still on the trade before this season it starts. And recent reporting indicate that Jerry Jones has left the door open for the possibility of another significant move, while the Cowboys have also indicated that they remain interested in improving the roster. But the Cowboys fans need to understand something important. There is difference between a trade rumor, possible trade, and completed trade. This, I think all of you understood this. Right now, there is simply speculation around the NFL because training camps are revealed which team have weaknesses and which player may become available. ESPN has also identified the potential trade scenarios around the league during a training camp. So, the Dallas could potentially explode the market if the coaching staff identifies as position that needs a help. The Cowboys do not necessarily need to make a blockbuster trade. A smart mid-level move could be enough if it addresses specific weakness. For example, if the Cowboys believe they need more depth at linebacker, defensive line, offensive line, and another position, the front office could look for veterans who become available. But as of now, fans should treat those possibilities as rumors and roster speculation, not confirmed a deal. So J. Sean Balham is another low-key to watch. One of the most interesting surprises in the training camp has been linebacker Jashawn Balham. Dallas selected Balham in the third round of the 2026 NFL Draft, and he has quickly become one of the young players receiving attention. Reports from the camp indicate that Balham has impressed the coaching staff with his speed and physical style, and he has been getting important first-team opportunities. that could be extremely important for the Cowboys. So the Dallas need a young defender who can play immediately. If the Barham has continued developing, the Cowboys may not need to spend a major trade asset on another linebacker. However, there is also an injury situation to monitor. Barham recently left practice with a groin issue or thought it will, and the field position battles several young players who may not start on the offense or defense are making a strong case for a roster spot because of their special team performance. Those contributions often become the difference between making the roster and being released from the season it starts. And another encouraging development have been chemistry inside the locker room. So the veteran leader have embraced the mentoring a younger teammates while Aloki continue earning respect through a hard work and consistent efforts. Coaches have placed the team energy and professionalism throughout the camp. So building this culture now could prove just as important as improving a talent on field once a regular season it begins. Looking ahead, with a preseason game approaching, the pressure will only increase. Every player understands that strong practice performances must now translate into a live game situations. Coaches will closely evaluate execution, decision making, and consistency before finalizing the roster. For the Dallas Cowboys, the mission remains clear. Build a complete football team capable of competing for the NFC title and making legitimate Super Bowl run. The coming weeks will reveal which players seize the opportunity and which veterans secure their roles in the team, and whether the Dallas decide to make